As a young junior lawyer myself, working in a female-led company, it's really inspiring. So often law is a completely male-dominated industry, and having a female-led company just means that the female voices, you know, we're not underrepresented. They want to hear our opinions, they want to hear our voices, and you know, women, they do belong in all areas of the office. You know, we've got female in management, we've got females in directors, you know, we've got females everywhere, so it is just really good for representing our voice and our opinions.
It means everything to me really personally, because as well as wanting a career, I've always wanted to be a mum, and I thought at one point I'd have to get to a crossroads of choosing one or having kids at a later stage in life, sorry. But when I come to this firm, Jessica had her own a young baby, and she is a very family oriented person, and when I did fall pregnant, I knew I'd just be supported throughout. When I joined the firm, I was in the position of manager. I went off on mat leave and come back and have continued to grow. They still saw that I could go higher, and they still saw a lot more in me, and having a baby didn't hold me back. And I do believe it is down to Jess's ethos of the firm and her as a mother herself.
Obviously law is, unfortunately, it's still a massively male-dominated industry. It's slowly changing, but more so at the top management side of things, partners. I can see the difference in how I acted myself almost. I think as a woman in the industry, and if you're working in a male-dominated firm, it's almost, it can be almost like a bit of a boys' club in certain companies. So coming here, I didn't necessarily realise it at first, because I feel as though I almost settled straight into myself straight away. And to be able to just come to work and know that I will be judged on my own merits and on what I bring to the firm, and, you know, my own achievements and what the work I can actually do. It just makes so much of a difference. I think the fact that I've just kind of come into the firm and done my work, and it's not something that's at the forefront of my mind anymore, that in itself is a massive thing, because I'm not thinking about who I should be or what I should be portraying. I'm just being myself and doing the work that I do, basically.
I think a lot of my friends and family members have had to get to the point where they do have to pick either a career or staying at home with the baby, sorry. And I do think that CEL has pushed me even harder and not let me feel like I can't push myself even further. So when I have come back from mat leave, they've continuously put tracks in place for me to grow as a person as well in a career. And I think they just celebrated me even more, whereas a lot of companies do think that it's more of a hindrance when you do have a baby and think like that's it until the baby goes to school or anything like that. So I do think that I've really been supported and pushed even further with my promotions, and nothing has held me back.
So CEL, there really is no glass roof to break for women. You know, the sky is the limit. So I've been really lucky in that I've been given a promotional opportunity before I've even qualified as a solicitor. I've been given my own team to run, which is proving really successful. CEL, they put a lot of faith in me as a young female when I first started, fresh out of university. So I think the support has just been absolutely brilliant. They've, you know, funded my education, they've given me opportunities to grow, and I truly believe that they will carry on to do this for the rest of my career.
You are given opportunities based on what you can do and what you bring to the firm. I don't think it's ever necessarily a question of what they do for me as a woman, it's what they do for me as a person. And again, that's part of the great thing. I don't have to think about my gender or, you know, what the men bring and what I bring. It's just a question of what we all bring to the company as one, and how we support each other. And I've been given so many amazing opportunities here, which I think I probably wouldn't have been given in more male-dominated firms, because I'm just trusted to get on with the job, and I'm judged based on my own abilities and not, you know, stereotypical gender norms or roles or whatever it may be. I just think it's amazing, because when I have worked in male-dominated industry, like male-dominated firms, it's so rare for women to advance to the top. There will normally be maybe one or two women at the top, And it creates a toxic society where I think sometimes it can be a case of women feel like they need to step on each other to get to the top. Here it couldn't be further from that. I think everyone in the office, regardless of whether they're men or women, are so supportive of each other. But the women especially, there's such a... We all just rally together and really root for each other and celebrate each other's successes and push each other to do more. So I just think the culture of it, you know, having a female partner at the top and having women in senior management positions, it just filters through and it gives more people a chance to aspire to do things that they may not ordinarily think that they could have done. And I just think that the support that all the women in the office give each other is just fantastic.
I think it's just inspiring, and being around in my senior position and around other females that have grown and gone through different journeys as me, it just shows that, and it just solidifies even more what the company is here to do. You know, it's not just a one success story. A lot of people have their own success stories in the firm, and it just makes everything even better. So when we're in board meetings or management meetings or whatever, and we're making decisions of the company, it's from all females are getting an involvement as well, whereas a lot of law firms primarily are predominated by men, and just seeing the balance between men and women higher up in the firm, it's just an amazing thing to be a part of.
Oh, I think it's absolutely amazing to see females, you know, at all levels, in directorship and management. So I think as a female, there is a lot of barriers in your career. You know, having children in some firms, it may necessarily be the stop between you progressing or having to take time off for maternity leave. So having, you know, the owners and the directors going off for maternity leave and still progressing in their career, I think it's absolutely amazing. I'd just say don't stress out and don't put so much pressure on yourself. So I think especially, you know, graduating university, I put an awful lot of pressure on myself to get a grad job, and then it was to get a training contract to become a solicitor. So it's just as easy as to say now, looking back, just go with the flow, don't stress out, and everything will fall into place if you work hard and believe that you can reach where you want to be.
Be yourself. I spent probably the most of my 20s trying to fit in with what I thought other people wanted me to be, or how I had to be in the workplace, or how I had to be with, you know, different types of people. And the great thing about working at CEL is I literally can just be myself. Like, I turned up on the first day, shaved head, like dressed the way I dress, and I think when you actually embrace who you are, other people will naturally embrace that, and only good things can come from that. So be yourself and just don't overthink everything, because people just don't care. Like people aren't looking at you, people aren't questioning you. Just think about yourself and do what you want to do.
I would just say timing is everything, and everything happens for a reason. You know, I think a lot of people at a young age think they need to get somewhere by a certain age. I know I certainly did, and I had a lot of pressure on myself and thought that I had to be someone or something by a certain age, I'd say. But until I got to 25, I didn't realise that I wanted to be in HR, and everything has worked out absolutely fine. And I think had I have gone back and had pressure on me from when I was 18 up until then and feel like I failed when something else didn't work out, something else didn't work out, I feel like everything would have been a lot more easier to just let the timing happen and believe that everything does happen for a reason.